We're going through the natural entrance of Carlsbad Caverns Cave. We are on day 7 of our 28-day adventure, and we are going to the caves today.
28 degrees right now in Carlsbad Caverns up on top.
Yeah, it should be about 50, 55 or so down in the cave, so it'll be warmer in there than it is out here. This is the view you get on your way into Carlsbad Caverns. This is Carlsbad Caverns Visitor Center. Basic information, last entrance 2:30, 8 to 5 for the visitor center. So they have a really cool exhibit here, 3-dimensional. You have a choice. You can go in from the visitor center and take an elevator down and start the loop for the big room. Or you can actually go in through the natural entrance, come down. There's a lot of switchbacks, a lot of descent, and then make your way all the way down. It does add 1.2 miles to the total trail that you're doing. And you'll end up going down about, what you call that huge rock? Iceberg rock? Something like that. And eventually get into the big room here. This is cool. Does it get completely dark in the caves? I think it does. That is true. No sunlight penetrates the cavern, so it's pitch black. Is it always the same temperature? I would say yes, but the answer is false. Why? They vary in the different locations of the cave. Anyway, it'll be in the mid-50s. So we just checked in at the front there, and you do have to do reservations online. It only costs $2. And then you have your interagency pass or whatever you're doing for the national parks. You show this at the entrance and then we're good to go. All right, you're not allowed to bring any selfie sticks, tripods, or strollers. To get to the natural entrance, you have to take the walkway that would take you to the bat theater. Of course, the bats are not here. They're in
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, they're in Mexico. They're called the Brazilian bats, though. And I think they start coming back in spring until October time frame. We just had a briefing from the ranger. Basically, the last restroom up here until you get to the bottom. It's about an hour or so to get to the big room where there's going to be a restroom down there. So we're going to descend about 750 feet. It's supposed to be steep, so we shall see. We're going through the natural entrance of Carlsbad Caverns Cave. Just to get you prepared, strenuous hike, 75 stories, 1.25 miles, no restrooms along the way, so don't make any. Here we go. That's where the bats leave the cave. It's interesting, I can see better on my camera than I can with my eyes. My eyes are having trouble adjusting. So they do have a way to communicate in case you're into trouble down here or at the bat cave. We have a mile to go to get to the bottom. Getting to the black hole, which is just up here. This is where the bats have gone out. We're at stop 9, and they're calling this popcorn. I can hear water down here somewhere. You can feel a breeze coming through here. It's nice coming here in the off season. The crowds were here during the holiday break, and they will show up again for spring break, and then when the kids are out of school. So if you can avoid those times, I think it's perfect. It's nice and quiet. No crowds. So the pathway is nice because there's not steps, it's just a slant. And they have handrails all along the way. We are entering Devil's Den. We do have some stairs here. We're going to be going around this huge rock. Weighs almost 200,000 tons. Now this area is cool. I like this one. It's the Green Lake room. What a bummer. The Green Lake you can't see unless you go on a tour. This is called spongework or boneyard. It's common in caves formed by sulfuric acid. Coming out of the natural entrance, you get to some signs. You have a map here. It is a little dark in here. During tourist season, I'm sure all of this would be open. But the restrooms are here. We are going to do the big room clockwise, I think. We're at the restroom area, and we're going to try and catch this Jim White tunnel, painted grotto, rock of ages, crystal spring dome, and then head over to Mirror Lake, and then come back.
I think our best views are going to be along these Hall of Giants right here.
Yeah.
Back in here.
We shall see.
But we'll do those last.
My favorite so far is the Green Lake area. All right, when we exit, we're going to exit through there.
Okay, wait a minute.
They're suggesting going right.
All right, we can't go clockwise on this thing. It's got to be a big room route that way.
All right, we're going to have to go counterclockwise.
Hey, we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
What's this way?
All right, I think we can still do it. I think we'll take our left here. It's going to go back by the restrooms again, so we could have caught it back there, I think. And we're going to go clockwise after all. We're starting the big room tour.
22.
So I found out from the ranger those numbers are actually part of the audio guide, which you can purchase. Didn't realize that. All right, we found the way that you would go if you wanted to go clockwise, but we're going to follow the rules. We'll go ahead and go counterclockwise. All of these start with drips, and then they eventually grow and grow and grow. If you decide the walk is too much, there is a shortcut to get back to the starting point and to the elevators. It's a half mile. In 1985, they figured out a way to get up on top of the cave and go into some areas that were beyond reach before. They used to use ladders to get down to the lower parts of the cave. Here's an example of one. That's a hole through this structure. Shining a light down here.
We're in a big room at Carlsbad Caverns National Park, and this is like the journey to the center of the earth. Rick Wakeman. These stalagmites and stalactites and all these formations, I mean, it's just incredible, unbelievable. We came through the natural cave, and it was amazing how Johnny White got in here, discovered this thing, just because he saw a bunch of bats flying out of the cave. And then they ascended with lanterns to get down here. Incredible.
says Mirror Lake. And if you look at that sign, you can't even read it. That's weird. Maybe you can read a reflection. That's a deep cave. Wonder how many people dropped their phones down there. See if you can hear the water drip. It's so quiet in here. It's water there. Looks pretty fragile if you walked out there. Can you see the green? A little hole. This brings us to the end of the tour. I just talked to the ranger. The audio tour is $5 for rental. So I think it would be worth doing. I just didn't know about it. We just finished our tour of the cave, the big room, and the natural entrance trail down to it. I liked it. Our goal is to get as many of the national parks done as we can, and we just finished Carlsbad Caverns. We thought we'd give you a highlight of what we thought and maybe some pointers if you were to come here in the future.
The self-guided tour is great, especially during non-peak season. You can have most of the cavern areas to yourself. We did the natural cave entrance and the big tour and everything. It was nice. We stopped when we wanted to, and we set our own pace. So an advantage of not taking a guided tour.
We were talking to the ranger, and it looks like some of those got sold out today. If you do decide to do a guided tour, make sure you do those in advance.
I recommend bringing a small flashlight because they light up the stuff that they want you to see, but there's a lot of cool stuff that's not lit up. And if you bring a small flashlight, you can see the details of some of the other stuff.
We actually used our flashlights to look at the map a little bit, and yeah, they came in handy. So definitely bring a small pen light flashlight of some sort. The path that we went on was really nice.
Beautiful. They say it's strenuous, but you know what? It ain't strenuous. It's beautiful. It's all down. And what's really nice is the elevator ride up, 750 feet, right?
Yep.
And no huffing and puffing, no climbing stairs to get out of there.
Yeah. Tomorrow is a travel day for us. We're going to be heading to El Paso area. So check out the playlist that I've got in the description below and join us as we continue our 28-day Southwest adventure.